up, YouTube? It's your boy Ziggy Doom. How y'all doing out there? This is the month of February, Black History Month, which for whatever reasons is the shortest month in the year, but whatever. It's Black History Month. Time to show a lot of Black history movies and, you know, do a lot of talking and support for Black history in the world. Well, I ain't gonna say in the world, but America. It's the month where we pay tribute and homage to those that came before us and all of the great accomplishments that they have and achievements they've made towards progress for Black people, things like that. Y'all know Black History Month. It's also Valentine's Day weekend, so it's gonna be a lot of relationship, romantic type stuff going on. I guess I don't know anything about that, but yeah, Valentine's Day. This podcast is a little bit more I don't want to say dark, but a little bit more of my opinion. And my opinion, in case you guys didn't know, is really controversial. Really controversial. And that's fine. But before I get into all that, let me just say this. All right. The Super Bowl halftime show was absolute trash. I don't care how anybody else feel about it, what anybody else think, it was absolute trash. Sometimes when we have something and it's completely American, right? It's deep rooted in American um, history, American culture, all that stuff. Sometimes it's okay to keep it that way. We try to integrate certain things, and I don't think we should always do that. I get it, the times have changed, and certain things may be more marketable. The NFL is trying to expand its brand to other countries and everything like that. But I just think some things shouldn't be touched. I shouldn't watch a halftime show and not understand what the person is saying. And I'm not just speaking for me, I'm speaking in general, right? People that only speak one language, only understand one language, they shouldn't have to watch something that's completely American. I mean, football is American, we know that. And they need a translator to understand what is being said at the halftime show. Now, this show had I think 135 million views, right? So some people enjoyed it. Just let's safe to say. Me personally, I don't want to watch a halftime show and I need to look at subtitles or have somebody interpret it for me. So for me, it was the worst in Super Bowl history for me. And that's what I'm gonna stand on. And however anybody feel about that, whatever. Let's get into more important things, man. I Y'all know I have conversations with people, and I listen to conversations. And one of the conversations someone told me was that you should change who you are in public versus who you are in private. So for me, that's a no. I disagree with that. I think your character and your personality should be able to coincide to where you don't have to change no matter who you're around. We're not talking about subtle changes, right? We're not talking about um being more inviting to one person versus another. We're talking about behind closed doors, you are a miserable piece of crap. And in public, you are just this golden candle that lights up the world. I don't believe in that. I don't think you should have to change that much. Because if your character and your personality are that far apart, then there's a flaw. Personality, as we know, is who people see you, right? When you go to work and you're, act a certain way around people in public, that is your personality. Your character is the person you are when nobody's looking. Nobody's looking. That's why Martin Luther King say judge people by the content of their character. Who are you when nobody's looking? And if you're so different to where your personality and character are on two completely different ends of the bar, then there's something fundamentally wrong with you. Period. And I don't agree with that. This is me 24/7. I'm a chill, mellow person. I know how to socialize. I know how to talk, but for the most part, I'm reserved. I'm a chill person. I don't go behind closed doors and turn into some kind of hypermaniac or anything like that. I'm pretty even wherever I go, whoever I'm around. I'm not going to change who I am for you, and nobody should. And if you do have to change yourself for somebody, you might need to reevaluate how you how you handle yourself, how you carry yourself, who you are as a person. You should not have to change yourself for nobody. Now, if you are a detriment to society, means you're causing more harm than good in society, then I mean, yeah, you might need to fix some things about you. Character flaws, we all have character flaws. This isn't character flaws. This is a complete flip of a switch from one person to another. How many people you see at work, they the hardest working, most talkative, most energetic, then at home they cussing and fussing and talking down on their family, things like that. I mean, even you go to church, you have the pastor, preaching the word of their God, and oh, don't do this, don't do that. But then they go home and they looking at underage, inappropriate stuff, right? This stuff happens. So I absolutely disagree. Your character and your personality should be pretty similar. You know, if you being one way for these people in another way, you can't be clean at your job, spick and span, wiping counters down, setting stuff up on the shelf, making sure everybody swept the floor and all that, and then your house look like trash. No, it does. No, because you are pretending to be one of those people, either the clean person or the dirty person. More than likely, if you dirty at home, you're more than likely a dirty person. I mean, dirty like if you don't clean at home, but you clean at work. Overall, you favor dirty. And I mean, this is kind of weird, but if you clean at home, but then you dirty at work, then you may value your home and your surroundings at home more than your work. But it's still wrong. I mean, you got to be even keel with it. And so many people struggle with that, I think, because they care about what people think of them. They care about what their peers think of them, or what are they going to say about me when I walk out the room? Or gee, I sure hope when I, you know, hang around my friends, everybody likes me, or everybody can look up to me and say I'm awesome. Why why do you have to adjust so much to get that praise? But then at home you like, oh well, I don't care what my house looks like because nobody's gonna see it, or I don't care what anyone in the house thinks of me because it's not as important as people in the street. Come on, man. That's what I think people struggle with. Just wanting to be don't not wanting to be judged or or acceptance. I talk about it a lot in my podcast, but it's something that really I don't understand. I don't understand. Why would you care what someone else thinks of you? Someone who you if you work with them, okay. If you're friends with them, okay, they can have an opinion, but a friend is not gonna constantly bash you and belittle you and talk down to you. They'll call you out when you're wrong or when you messed up, but they're more than likely gonna uplift you. So if you have to constantly worry about your friend talking bad about you, maybe that's not your friend. Maybe that's not somebody that cares about you. Maybe it's somebody that's envious or jealous, just doesn't like you. It happens. But to see so many people, and I've been around people, and I see them in public, and I see them in private, and it's two completely different people. I hear them how they are in public, and then behind closed doors, they completely opposite. Smiling in public, behind closed doors, oh my life sucks, and I'm sad. Well, you got to fix one because you're putting on a face for either the sadness or the happiness at work. And I get it. Certain jobs require certain. You have to be a certain way. But why would you work a job that requires you to be a certain way that you don't like? I mean, we got to do what we got to do. I get that, but why would you do that though? Why would you work a job where you have to pretend to be something you're not? I would that would just grind my gears to the point where I wouldn't work there anymore. And customer service for me is the absolute worst job for me because I don't like talking to people. I'm not a people person. I don't hang out with friends. I don't do that. So for me, customer service was very difficult because in the military that was like my primary job, customer service, and it was cool. It never got to the point where I was like, gee, I really can't do this because most of the time I was dealing with computers. Customer service was a part of it, but not daily like a call center or working at a hospital or taking care of people, whatever. So it was it. I've never been into that. And when I worked at McDonald's 30 plus years ago, I was in the back. I made the burgers. I wasn't in the front smiling. Hey, welcome to McDonald's. Can I take yours? No, I was in the back. Oh, they want 2 cheeseburgers. Okay, make the cheeseburgers. Send them down the line. So for me, I never changed. I mean, I got older, right, and I've tried to make better choices in life. You got to do that. That's part of growth and development. But never changed. And people that didn't know me when I was a teenager, the people that knew me when I was a teenager, they knew, like, yeah, that's the same Ziggy Doom. Same one. Don't care what nobody say. Don't care what nobody think. I've never been an idiot. That ain't nothing I've ever been. I've been crazy for most of my life, but stupid, I ain't never been that. Now I will, I will give you the illusion that I don't know what's going on because I just I like listening to people try and play me for a fool, if that makes sense. Like somebody lying, and you just like to look at them and agree with them as if you don't know the truth. I like doing that because it's funny to me. It tickles my soul because later on, when something happens that they don't agree with, and they're like, "Oh my God, why'd you do that?" Then you can like, "Hey, remember that whole time where you thought I ain't have a clue?" Yeah, that's why. Because I'm gonna give you the same energy. I match energies. That's what I do. I don't try to like over with the energy, not too much energy, not a little. I try to match energies. And I'm great at that. Because I see people, I see everyone, I don't see everyone the same, but I see everyone as who they are, not who I want them to be. See, I used to do that. I used to look at certain people and like, I want you to be this person, so I'm gonna treat you like the person I want you to be. That's a mistake, y'all, and people do that. Treat people like who they are. If you are lazy and I want you to not be lazy, I can't treat you like you're not lazy. I gotta treat you like you lazy. If you keep making bad choices and I want you to make good choices, I can't treat you like you're going to make good choices. I gotta treat you like you make bad choices. So that means I'm not gonna take your advice. When you say something, I'm not gonna take your advice. I'm gonna be like, okay, cool. You know? And if people listen to you and take your advice, then I mean that's just a testament to how many people we have around that really don't have a clue. And I'm not saying somebody can't know, something about certain things. But when you make bad choices constantly, I can't take your advice. I can't. It's like, nah, might not be a good idea. So I don't ever treat people the way you want them to be. You got to treat them the way they are. And sometimes you got to say, well, Jesus, no matter what I do, you ain't going to change. So I'm going to have to treat you this way forever. And that's how I move. That's how I move now cuz I would drive myself crazy. Like I've I've never been a pushover ever. Ever. Ain't nobody on this planet that I walked up to Ziggy, pushed him and he didn't know. I've gotten bullied a couple times in my life and I reacted accordingly because you're not going to bully me. we just gonna have to have a problem forever, but you ain't gonna bully me. I don't care how big, strong, tall, how much money you got. You're not gonna bully me. And I'm assertive. I'm assertive. I stand on whatever I say, I stand on it. To whoever I say it, I stand on that. Because I can. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I can apologize. I have enough humbleness and humility to be like, hey, I'm sorry. I was wrong. There's no problem with that. I don't want to be right all the time. I don't. Because you don't learn. If you right all the time, how are you ever gonna learn anything? If you right all the time. Now I ain't say think you right, because there's a lot of people think they right. No, I'm talking about know you right. I learn from anybody. I don't look at somebody, oh, you're 21 years old. You can't possibly tell me nothing about this, that. I don't do that. I like insight because everybody can see the same thing from a different point of view, and that doesn't really have an age barrier, right? So I like that. I like to listen more than I talk because you don't learn when you talk. You learn when you listen. And you don't not waiting to talk, right? Because you got conversations where people back and forth, they not listening, they just waiting to talk. No, let me listen. Let me tell you what I got to say. Let me listen to what you got to say. Let me tell you what I got to say. Telling y'all now, communication is dead. Now we got cell phones, we got social media, we can text. So face to face communication is going to be a lost art pretty soon. It's just something that people don't know how to do. They're empowered by being able to be behind a screen and act a certain way. And knowing in person, they couldn't say that. See, I was in the era before computer screens and cell phones. So if I got a problem with you, I'm gonna tell you to your face. And if that doesn't work, if that doesn't work, then we go to other extremes. That's what we'll do. But I don't have a problem at all with telling anybody how I feel about a situation. So it's for me, I can't follow society's norms of how people should be and what they should say and how they should act because societal norms don't make sense to me. Why do I have to tell you something that makes you feel good about yourself if I know or I think it's a lie? That's what society wants you to do. Tell people something that'll make them feel good about themselves, even though you know it's not true. And then if you don't do that, now you're the jerk, you're the problem, you're the negative person, you're the downer. Now understand this. If someone only complains, that's all they do is complain, or all they do is say something negative. That's it. If that's all they do, then that's a negative person. Right? But if you give constructive criticism and you can acknowledge somebody's goods as well as their bads, that's not a negative person. But see, in society, you can't do that. Society says we got to be a certain way. And the majority of people follow that, and I don't. And I can't change society. I'm not trying to. So what do? I just distance myself from society. That's all. When I hear these stories about, oh, this guy's with this girl and she don't pay no bills and he pays the bills and she's always complaining and she wants to be with him for his money. It's like, okay, he's stupid. Or the girl, oh, this girl with this guy and he told her, we can do this and that, but we can't be in a relationship and you're the only one. And she believed that. Stupid. And that's another thing, right? The word stupid, kind of taboo. Could be seen as disrespectful, but either way, one thing about stupid, what I've learned, it can't be fixed. Stupid cannot be fixed. So don't even try. Do not try. Once someone shows you that they're stupid, treat them accordingly. Don't treat them like, nah, they not stupid. They just had a stupid moment. Nah, they probably stupid. And the best way to tell if somebody's stupid is not just walk up to people and say they stupid, right? Because that's inappropriate. And obviously that's disrespectful. Like, hey, bro, who are you talking to? No, just one of your friends have casual conversations and say, you know what? Based on all of the things I know about you collectively, I think you're stupid. See if they get offended. And 9 times out of 10, the ones that get offended first, it's because they're stupid. It's because they really are stupid. Because if anybody that knows me come up to me and say, you know what, Ziggy, I've known you for X amount of time, and collectively, I think you're stupid. Okay. All right. World keeps spinning. I ain't never trying to change nobody's opinion of me. Never. That's a waste of time. That is a waste of time trying to get people's opinion of you to change. Let me do this so their opinion change. The opinion that people have of me is their opinions. And there are people that like me and there are people that don't like me. It doesn't change how I feel about myself, how I like me. That's why I can get on this camera, right? And I don't think nobody else gets in front of a camera on the internet in front of the world and can say they failed as a parent. You know, they can't do that. I can say it because the standard I hold myself to versus anybody else. And I think collectively I failed, but I tried. That's the important thing. I tried. But I can get in front of the camera and say I failed as a parent. Not proud of it, not looking for any sympathy or bullet points or tips, whatever. It's just that's what I feel. I don't care your opinion about it. Either way, you know. But I do tend to remember more of what people say bad about me than what they say good about me. And the reason is because I'm not motivated by compliments. You can give me a pat on my back. You can give me a round of applause. Wrong one. Wrong one, y'all. I'm still trying to learn this board. You can give me a round of applause. And whatever. That doesn't sway me, you know. When someone tells me what I can't do, that tends to resonate with me more. And I don't make it my duty to prove them wrong. That's wasted energy, right? But whenever I'm in a situation doing whatever I do, I remember a person telling me what I can't do. So that's why there are people that don't like me, and I still talk to them from time to time. Not because I care or because I want to have a relationship with, but because every now and then it's nice to know that the person you're talking to and how they feel about you was so wrong. Like, hey, remember when you said I wasn't gonna do this, do that? Yeah. It's once again, it tickles my soul when certain people, because y'all, there was not really many people in my corner. I'm talking about from little, right? I ain't talking about now, the adult. I'm talking about little. There wasn't really many people in my corner because I was different, right? I played video games, I played football. I didn't care about let me look good for the girls. Let me be cool for the guys. I didn't care about that. I worked, I played video games, uh, I played sports, you know. That's what I did. And that's kind of weird, right? Because I was a nerd. I could play chess and be in those clubs, the chess clubs, everything. And I was a jock because I could play sports. So that was kind of a hybrid. Like I didn't really have a place. I go hang with the nerds and we can, Dungeons and Dragons, whatever. And then I go with the jocks and we can kick it with sports. So, but I never looked in the mirror and said, I want people to accept me. I want people to like me. Never. So people's opinions of me don't matter. But they shouldn't matter to anyone, honestly. I mean, maybe to a certain extent. But overall, like, bro, why? So I however you feel about me, you got to remember at the end of the day, you have to live your life. You have to. If you hate me, if I ruined your life, if you wish you never met me, if you can't breathe without thinking about me, if I'm your morning, whatever. at the end of the day, you have to live your life. So that's how that works. Okay, find your opinion, but you still got to go live your life. And I have to live mine. Now I do have pet peeves. I have pet peeves, things that just, oh my God, like just bother me. One of my biggest pet peeves is when people say they gonna do something that they never do. I'm gonna get a house. I'm gonna get that car. I'm gonna save up in there. I'm gonna lose weight. Y'all, it's like, understand, when you are locked in and you really gonna do something, really gonna do it, you don't spend a lot of time talking about it. You don't, because yeah, you can speak it into existence, right? Some people, you got to speak it into existence. Okay, but how much talking are you doing when it comes to that versus your actions? Because actions speak louder than words. Wow, that sounds cliche, but that's they do. They speak louder than words, man. Don't tell me what you're gonna do. Show me. And unfortunately, most of the people that tell me what they gonna do, I'm gonna move, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna save up and do that, I'm gonna pay that off. They don't do it. They don't do it. So me, this is where I guess I'm a jerk. I'm like, I don't want to hear it. Like, talk about something else. Like, talk about something else. Because I don't want to keep hearing it. Oh, I lost a pound, or I lost 2 pounds, or I lost 3. Great. Great. Keep going. I mean, what are you telling me for? Like, what is your end goal? So I'm gonna do this. So I saved up $2. I said, okay, great, good, good. Reach your goal. Because that's the most important thing, reaching your goal. Not talking about it. And listen, y'all, if a person doesn't have discipline, all these goals they're just talking. You can't, once again, I'm crazy, I ain't stupid. You can't talk your way into convincing me. Because I've known you. If I've known you for years and I'm like, you ain't never had discipline to do nothing. All you did was complain. Oh, this is hard. That person don't like me. This person sucks. This job sucks. You ain't finna convince Ziggy Doom that now, oh, I'm gonna have a discipline to do this, a discipline to do that. No, you're not. You're just talking. Sit down. But see, I'm the jerk according to the societal norms when I do that. Because I'm supposed to be the attaboy, keep doing it. Good job. 1 pound, 2 pounds. I'm supposed to be that, but that's not me. What reason, a person that has no discipline, what reason do I have to believe that they gonna just grow up and have discipline or wake up and have discipline? If you ain't never did nothing past the basics of life, why would I believe you finna just all of a sudden build a rocket ship and blast it off into space? I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not that guy. Don't you coming to me? Oh, I'm about to get it good. Well, I got this going good. And 3 months later, oh, here come the excuses. And sometimes I get blamed. Like, what? It's my fault? What was I supposed to say? like, like people are delusional. Okay. And I get fed up with delusion. I don't I can only listen to so much complaining before it's like, okay, what are you doing about it? Right? If someone's being rude or whatever, if they doing something you don't like, do something about it. Say something. Because then if you don't say nothing, then it happens again. I don't want to hear it. Okay, don't talk. Go talk to a wall. I don't want to hear that crap, man. I met this person and they're great and they do this and they do that. Okay, cool. Then 3 months later, oh, you single again? Well, what happened? Well, I didn't. You make bad choices with dating. That's why you're single. Don't you make bad choices with dating. Period. And if you're making bad choices with dating, why are you trying to give somebody dating advice? Why? Because the first thing I'm gonna say, wait a minute. How many relationships you been in? And they all failed? They all failed? You picked the wrong person in every single relationship? Oh, okay, yeah. See? Stupid. But society says we can't say that, right? We can't say that. We got to say, oh, just keep trying. You're gonna find the right one. Keep trying. If I don't try, I won't know. Yeah, you won't know. But if you keep trying the same thing, you will know. It ain't gonna work. You're trying the same thing, the same pond, the same fish. What do you think the flavor is gonna change? No. So don't tell me, oh, I'm trying. I gotta try. Yeah, okay. You know, I just it's something that irks me about people that talk about what they gonna do, and they just keep talking and keep talking. You see them 3, 4, 5 years later. Hey, did you get that car you was about? Oh man, yeah, something happened. Okay, well, don't talk to me about you getting the car. I don't want to hear it. I want to hear it. And we live in a generation now, and this generational thing, I got to be careful because there's certain generations, right? The millennials, the baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Z. Everyone is going to defend their generation, right? Everyone, Gen Z gonna defend their generation, Gen X, baby boomers, millennials, everyone's gonna defend their generation. But here's one thing that's interesting. The generations that came after, they can't really speak on the generations that came before. A Gen Z can't really speak on a baby boomer because they had no idea what life was like as a baby boomer. But when a baby boomer sees a Gen X kid and what they do and how they are, they can be like, we wasn't like that, bro. It was a little different, you know, little tougher, maybe. Yes, tough is subjective, but y'all, you got these kids that try to tell parents how to be parents. Did y'all hear what I said? You have kids that try to teach parents how to be parents. Well, you shouldn't do this as a parent. You shouldn't do that as a parent. Excuse me? Who made you the authority on being a parent? Um, I wish I was making this stuff up, man. I don't know what social media or Discord or Facebook or whatever, but like it's just the internet is just so available and they can interpret it however, and then they say, oh, by the way, you should do this as a parent, or you should do that as a parent. A kid that lives in your house telling you don't do nothing for them, stupid. It's stupid. See, there we go. That stupid word. That is stupid. Like what? You don't do nothing for me, okay. Right? And for me, y'all, I don't like being around stupid people. I don't like being around stupid situations. I don't. I don't. So you go to a club. You know, I think clubs are dead nowadays, but you go to a social event with adults. What's probably guaranteed to be there? I mean, we ain't talking about church, right? We ain't talking about the circus. We talking about a party of a get together. Hey, we finna watch the Super Bowl. Hey, we finna watch the fight. What is gonna always be at these things? Come on, y'all. Drinking and or smoking. And what happens when you drink too much? What happens? Intoxicated, inebriated, handicapped. Okay. What do people do when they're drunk or intoxicated or inebriated? Do they do smart things? Do they do safe things? Or do they act reckless? So you get a bunch of people together and they gonna drink and smoke, and we can all agree most people that drink and smoke don't know their limits. They do it until they don't even remember. So that's a stupid. You more than likely something stupid is gonna happen. I don't like that, so I stay away from that stuff. Like, why does drinking and smoking have to equate fun? Why you can't just have fun as an adult without drinking and smoking? And I know all adults don't drink and smoke, but I'm saying y'all know Super Bowl, the Olympics, 4th of July, a baseball game. Y'all know it's people drinking and smoking, and the drinking until they get drunk. And I'm gonna say this. I hope I offend everybody in the world when I say this. I don't care if you in my family. I don't care if you work next to me. I don't care if you work above me, below me. I don't care. If you drink and drive, you drink alcohol and you drive, you are stupid. I don't care how you feel about it. I don't care if you drink and drive, you're stupid. In my book, stupid. I don't care how you feel about it. I don't care. Because how in the world do you justify drinking, being intoxicated, being handicapped, and driving a motor vehicle down the road? To me, you are stupid. Stupid. And I hope you offended. I hope you like, yeah, well, Ziggy Dane, I drink and smoke. You stupid. Or I drink and drive. You stupid. It's stupid. I don't care. You're stupid. That's something stupid. If you do it once when you're younger, okay. When we young, that's when we supposed to make the stupid and bad choices. Okay? I get that. But how you in your 40s, almost 50, and you still drinking and driving? You're stupid. You're stupid. I don't care. You stupid. You are stupid. And yes, I'm saying it with some inflection because I take that stuff personal. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I can't stand it. I'm against it. I always be negative about it. So yeah, I feel some guy. You stupid. Stupid. Hey, you stupid. Hey, stupid. Oh, Ziggy, you stupid. I don't care how you feel about it, man. And because I know how this world works, somebody will say something I do is stupid. Okay, that's fine. But guess what? We go right back to what I talked about earlier. You still got to live your life. See how that works? Y'all, this it's not hard, man. It's not hard. You surround yourself with people that are positive, right? You don't surround yourself with fools, especially if they 10 and 20 years younger than you. Like, why? How do you hang with people that much younger than you and you feel okay? Like that just tells me your brain, your intelligence, your intellect is on the same level as those people below you. I don't care how you feel about that. You don't feel weird hanging around a bunch of 20 and 30-year-olds and you in your 40s, almost 50. You don't feel weird? The conversations, like, wait a minute, you guys are talking about Summer Walker and I come from the Luther Vandross era. Stuff like that. Like, see, that's what makes me a jerk, I guess, or whatever. Because I'm gonna speak on things like that. I don't care how you feel about it. I don't. And however you think about me or feel about me, it doesn't matter. You gotta live your life, I gotta live mine. Drinking and driving is stupid. And the fact that everybody don't agree with that. Everybody don't, well, I don't think drinking and driving is stupid. I think if you can hold your liquor, then it's okay. The fact that everybody don't agree that drinking and driving is bad or stupid, that should tell you right there why I don't follow societal norms. Because societal norms will say, hey, drink one or two, you can still drive. But bruh, if you gotta close one of your eyes to drive down the road because you that drunk, stupid. Come on, man. Y'all, what are we doing? What are we doing? And I gotta say this. Shout out to the super parents. The super parents, right? These are the parents that they don't really care about their kids, but because they don't like the other half so badly that if the other half has a conflict with their kid, now that parent is on the front line for that kid defending them against that other parent. That's the super parent. Like, bro, you ain't care about your kids at all. At all. You ain't really cared about it. But as soon as the parent that you don't like do something, now you on the front line for your kid. Oh, how dare you say this and do that, and this is my child. Get out of here. Like, stop it. You guys are hilarious. Hilarious. And y'all should know by now, when I say this stuff, I'm speaking on personal experiences and interactions. I'm not saying nothing that I just came out of thin air. I'm talking about people in real life. I know a lot of people that are stupid. What do I mean by that? They keep doing the same thing, making the same bad choices, and then wonder why they can't get ahead in life. Wonder why they don't have nothing in life. Wonder why they where they at in life. Well, I walked for I walked a half a block and I can't breathe. Well, maybe you need to lose some weight. Or maybe you need to go to the gym. Well, it ain't always about the gym and losing weight. Well, what is it? You got some condition? You got a heart condition? Okay, I guarantee you this. I guarantee if you lost weight and went and strengthened your muscles, I guarantee it would help. Might not fix it, but it'll help. Not try to make another excuse. But see, society, once again, Ziggy, you can't say that. You can't be calling people fat and don't work out. You can't say, okay. That's why I don't follow societal norms. I call it how I see it. I'm sorry. And everybody, when I tell people I'm different, right? I tell I'm different. Like you might not want to mess with me. You might not want this right here. And they just, oh, everybody says that. I'm different too. I get, and then they find out. They like, wow, you really are different. Yeah, I'm different. I'm different. Not like I don't try to not fit in, right? Like, oh, everybody here is wearing red, so let me put on blue. Nah, that ain't what I do. I just stand on what I believe in and what I value. And ironically, most people stand on other stuff because they care about what people think about them. They do. They care. I've been homeless. I've been jobless. I've been locked up. I've been beaten up. I ain't win every fight in my life. Um, I've broken the law. Like, what do we? Nobody can be more critical of me than me. That just can't. They can't. That's why it doesn't bother me if someone says something about me. If someone talks down on me, or all my social media is public. I don't know this stuff. I've said it before. I don't care if somebody go, "Oh, Ziggy, you were the worst." Blah blah blah. Okay, cool. Thanks for watching the video. And independence. I'm gonna say this, y'all. Independence is something I would not trade for anything. The way I was raised may not have been, flowers and cookies and cream, okay? But I look at the world now and I look at everybody I grew up with and I look at people I interact with and I'm like, geez, I'm not too sad that I was raised the way I was raised. Because if you want to take a bad situation and you can take a good out of any situation, good or bad. The good I take out of my bad situation, I learned independence. That is something like, bro, I will get a shovel and dig it out of the ground if I have to. Morning, noon, and night. I don't care if that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do. But I'm the person, look, pull a plug, okay? If somebody don't care for me, right? And it's not a lot of people. The only two women the only two women I can look in the camera and say loved me, they both did. Unconditionally loved me, not loved me when they was happy and when they was sad, they just moved on or whatever. No, two women on this whole earth. There's only two women that I can say unconditionally loved me, and they both did. So I learned to love myself a long time ago. Long time ago. I learned to love myself because I knew I was flawed. I made a lot of mistakes. I did a lot of bad things. I hurt a lot of people. But if you learn from that and do better moving forward, then it's okay. You learn. No matter when you learn, as long as you learn. And I ain't make no excuses for it. I could easily say, well, I didn't have no guidance. No, I could have did right by those people. But I didn't. No excuse. And I learned and did better. Right. But I've always stood on 10 toes down. I I've had discipline. right? I know how to save and invest. I know how to go to the gym and work. I know how to like do these things. If someone tells me I can't do something and I know I can do it, it's okay. You can't tell me what I can't do. I can tell me what I can't do, right? I'm like, Ziggy, you can't do that. But you can't tell me what I can't do. Who are you? Excuse me? Do you know how I move? My capabilities, my limits? Do you know like my motivations? No, so you can't, you know. I mean, you can tell me what I can't do, but it's just your opinion. You know, what is it based on? Now, if you tell me something I can't do and I agree with you, okay. Yeah, you're right. Like I say, bro, my social media don't have to be. I don't have to hide nothing because no one can be more critical of me than me, and I don't stand. I don't sit in front of this camera and tell a bunch of BS. I don't do that. I stand on what I say. So people like, well, yeah, I can say something in his comments, but that is exactly who he is and what he stands on. If you confused about something I say, hit me up. We can discuss it. Like, I'm confused. You said don't do this, but then you do it. Okay, well, this is why I said it. This is what I mean. And I always ask, hey, do you understand? Does it make sense? Right? Because I don't want you to just agree and like walk off. Nah, does it make sense what I'm saying to you? And even if you don't agree, right? You don't have to agree, but at least you can understand it more. There's people that right now laying around or doing something, feeling sorry for themselves. I can't do it. Life too hard, blah, blah, blah. Well, why is life too hard? Why can't you do it? Because there had to be a point in your life where you could have made a different choice and your life wouldn't be so hard or you couldn't do it. But you see, this is where accountability comes in. Everybody want to blame somebody else, right? They don't want to, yeah, I know I could have done this differently and my life wouldn't have been so you didn't. So now you made that choice and your life is hard. Deal with it. Suck it up, buttercup. But see, here we go back to y'all societal norms say that person, you got to tell them, oh, it's going to be okay. Just pick yourself up you know, and I guess nothing's wrong with that. But y'all, when I say I'm different, I'm different. I'm not that guy. I, I, I blew all my money and now I can't pay my bills. What you want me to say? What do you want me to say? You want me to say, that's okay. Some more money will fall out the sky. You'll be okay. No, I'm gonna say, well, what did you learn? What did you learn? What did you learn? Do what you got to do, man. Humble yourself. A little bit of humility. Hey, if you got to hold a sign up, so be it. But I get tired, y'all. I get tired. Like y'all don't. My phone is 90% me being like a like some form of comfort and console. Like I gotta listen to your problem and then say something nice. It ain't even a new problem. It's a problem that you created over and over and over. And I gotta say something nice. No, I don't know how to say something nice. It's like, why are you calling me? You should know what I'm gonna say. Oh, Ziggy probably gonna give me the smoke. Yeah, yeah. Well, can't you be nice, Ziggy? Can't you say something? Yeah, I could, but is it gonna help? If I tell you what you want to hear, is it really gonna help you? Maybe in that moment, but overall, are you gonna change? Right? Then one of my friends was like, sometimes people need somebody to come in their life and fix them or or make them better or something like that. Basically, basically they can't fix themselves. They need somebody to come in their life and fix them. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I, once again, I'm introverted. I don't mess with a lot of people, so I tend to do stuff by myself. So maybe I have a bias towards it, but I don't agree with that. So if a guy was promiscuous, just all these women, and then he meets one woman and she says, you know what, I'm gonna stop you from being promiscuous. I don't think that's really a thing. I mean, on the surface, but only person can stop that guy is that guy. That's it. And maybe his motivation behind it was because he cared about that woman so much. Like, I love you so much, I'm willing to stop being promiscuous and be exclusive with you. But guess what? It was still him choosing to change himself. Y'all, this is what life is, man. You live, you treat people the way you want to be treated, try to leave the world a better place than you found it. You got kids, you try to get them a better life than you had, and you try to give them a good example. But at bare minimum, you know, that's it. And even then, it may backfire. It may not even go the way, like, I gave you everything you wanted. I gave a good example and you still don't get it. Hey, you tried. You tried. That's what it is, man. And I'm not superhuman. Listen, ain't nothing about me superhero. I have limits. And once I reach my limit, then my top can explode. And I have a very sharp tongue. I hurt feelings. I make people cry. I literally have conversations with people and make them cry. Grown ups, make them cry. I mean, what do you want me to say though? You're being a fool. You're being stupid. What do you want me to say? That's what I am. That's what you're gonna get from me. And people have walked out of my life. I had some friends who, they don't talk to me no more, whatever, and it's cool. No love lost. They may not, like, what's I just don't like the way you are. It's been long enough, and I'm just gonna move around. Cool. No love lost, no hurt feelings or whatever. I wish you the best in life. Because guess what? You still gotta live your life. It always goes back to that, man. But let me get up out of here, man. I didn't want this podcast to go into an angry rant, right? Life happens. Stuff happens in my family, my emergency surgery I had, things like that. Life happens, man. You just got to make the best of it. But everyone has a right to protect their peace. Everyone. I've worked hard my whole life. Can't nobody say, well, Ziggy, you took 4 years off, a year off, you ain't do nothing. Can't nobody say I worked hard my whole life. At what point do I get to enjoy the spoils of my labor? Right? Peace, quiet, cleanliness. At what point? Everyone deserves that. At what point, So, I'm in that transition of my life where I'm old. and I think old, you value time more than money as you get older. And it's not just time, it's serenity, it's peace. You had 20 years of chaos that you had to work through, right? Okay, now let me have some peace. I think everyone deserves that. But it's all about choices we make. And we gotta live with those choices. I live with mine every day. Just gotta try to make better ones and move on. And you make better choices, then you can't be called stupid. You know, you could be called you made a stupid choice, but you can't be called a stupid person because we all make stupid choices. Man, I think I make a stupid choice. When I talk to certain people, I tell myself, yeah, this was stupid, Ziggy. So I'm still making, bad choices. Because there's certain people I deal with, it's like, man, you stupid for dealing with this person, you know. But I guess even I'm guilty of that, right? Trying to treat somebody the way you want them to be versus just treating them like who they really are. I'm guilty of that too, y'all. I'm not above these things. But it ain't gonna be like that forever. At some point, I'm like, all right, you're done. You can't, you cannot convince me you will, stupid can't be fixed. And you can't convince me that you not gonna keep making stupid choices. So I gotta move around. That's it, man. My boy Dubs, we're supposed to be doing a podcast together, but our times conflict because he worked too. He's in a different time zone, and I work days and nights, so it's kind of hard to link up. But Dubs, I'm ready for that podcast, man. Your boy got some hum to him. So let me get on y'all podcast and we do some things, man. But as always, man, Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, leave stuff in the comments. And until the next YouTube video, bees.